This program discusses equipment designed for monitoring, not entertainment. The Collins 51S-1 was built for sustained listening under conditions where attention mattered. Some context is implied rather than explained. This is a Collins 51S-1. It's a receiver from a time when listening was the whole job. No digital signal processing, no menus, no automation. You set it up, put it on frequency, and you do what must be done. That was the expectation. No reminders, no second chances. The 51S-1 was built to be stable and predictable because the people using it needed consistency more than convenience. It wasn't designed to impress anyone. It was designed to work for long periods without drawing attention to itself. It has no interest in your opinion. Attention was the operator's responsibility. When you use one today, what stands out isn't how old it is, it's how solid it feels. The controls do exactly what you expect. The audio is easy to listen to. Weak signals don't get torn apart or hyped up, they're just there. There's no button for confidence. This receiver has a long memory, because it's been around long enough to earn one. It's seen different roles, different rooms, and different standards. Some of the places it sat were public, and others were not. The point isn't where it's been. The point is why it was built the way it was. The 51S-1 doesn't try to help you. It assumes you're paying attention. There's no safety net built into the experience. If you rush it, you'll miss things. If you slow down, it will tell you what's there. The manual assumed you knew what you were doing. There's a discipline built into equipment like this. You don't chase signals, you wait for them. That mindset hasn't aged. This radio comes from a world where signals were logged, not glanced at, because missing things had consequences. It didn't need to be friendly, it needed to be right. There are radios today that do far more than this one ever will. More features, more processing, more screens. But that doesn't automatically make them better listeners. The 51S-1 was built to hear what was actually there, not what someone decided should be emphasized or cleaned up. That's why it still makes sense to use one now. Not because it's old, not because it has a reputation, but because the fundamentals it was built around still matter today. This is the Collins 51S-1, a receiver with a long memory. It was never meant to explain itself. Now, it's time for a clean-up and some maintenance. This is a bit tricky to do one-handed. With 51S-1s, you always check the turret tuner. Now, I knew this one was going to be absolutely fine because it came from a fellow Collins enthusiast who's honest and reliable. It's still nice to have a look, and I wanted to show you here for the video, so this is all pretty good. You see how all this rotates through the different bands. So anyway, nice and clean and tidy here underneath. I'm happy with this. Some radios, of course, for the arrive here can do a little bit of a clean. So that's what we're doing here right now. Very time consuming, but worth it. It's already come a long way in a short space of time. This is very hard to do one-handedly, but if I do that bit there you go, you can see where the dirt is coming away. Time consuming, but worth it. You'll have to forgive me being on the floor like this, but this is the unwavering passion that I have for Collins. Something like this arrives, I have to hook straight into it. I'm in the process of moving right now, and the bench is all taken up over there. This dial is out of calibration. So, of course, the trusty Collins service manual tells us to loosen... Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to get this. There's a set screw on the shaft down here that you've got to loosen. I can't quite get it. But I loosen it just enough, put some resistance with my finger, move this back and forth, and this gets this to read accurately again. I'm going to tweak it ever more so slightly and get a spot on here with WWV. Yeah, our two sidebands aren't really too far off one another as well. Anyway, I thought I'd just share that. And yeah, the cleanup has come up quite nice here as well. I'll spend more time on that probably once I move, but much better. Alright, making good progress. This is a 10-metre beacon near my house, coming through like gangbusters. The acid test is always sensitivity on the higher bands. So yeah, I was going to go through and... Ooh. That's a transmission, that's not this. Never let moments like that get the better of you, of course. You'll hear something strange and think, oh, the radio's stuffed, but it's the transmission quite often. Yeah, so I was going to do some tweaking on that turret, but I think now I'm just going to wait and see how we go. Enjoy it a bit. Never any sort of a rush with these sort of things. You enjoy the journey.
But there we go. Maybe next year, when I get everything fully set up, might have a go. We'll see. Anyway, all right, Clint, I'll let you go. I'm going to QSY to work. I'm not really looking. I'm just going around ordering in as Ukrainian people, and that's all fine apparently. I just put that thought to one side and I use it in the interest really of cardiovascular exercise, and I feel better for it. I'm sure it's doing me a lot of good, combined with other things as well. Watching what I eat and some other resistance training as well. Don't want to be too extreme, but I think at my age, you were there 19 years ago at my age, I realised that I've got grandchildren.
Again, that rejection tuning, that's how I can roll away that electrical interference.
Well, back to you. BK2GVK, G2YT. My doctor told me don't ride the bike. I'm too old. I will pay next year 91. Okay, I'll have the bike. Disappear.
One thing I have noticed is there's no reception on the 1 and 200 hertz ranges of our megacycle selector. You know, like if I start shooting around here, come down to about here. I should be getting hammered with broadcast stations, but I am not. You know, listen to the difference between that and that. Very quiet. I'm on the dipole right now. Calibrator is still there. Calibrator is much louder. Oh no. I thought the calibrator was louder on the higher bands, but no, it's pretty consistent across the ranges. Looking at the service manual, apparently valve 10 and valve 16, these are 6 EA8s, are involved in a low frequency converter stage. Having a look at the manual, essentially, when you tune to 200 hertz and 1 megahertz, this effectively actually puts the radio back. What's a simple way to explain this? It puts it back in the 28 and 29 megahertz ranges, I think it is. How far up do we go here? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh yeah, 28, 29. Yeah. When you put a 51S-1 into the 200 hertz and 1 megahertz ranges on the megacycle selector, the turret actually goes back to the 28 and 29 megahertz ranges, and the low frequency converter converts the lower frequencies, 200 hertz and 1 megahertz, back up to 28 and 29 megahertz, if that makes sense. But it almost seems as though the converter isn't talking to the 28 and 29 megahertz ranges. But I have an idea. A light bulb went off when I was reading this. The 51S-1 uses a low-frequency mixer and converts the signal to the 28 and 29 megahertz bands. The low-frequency input to the mixer has passed through a bandpass filter, and the output of the mixer is tuned by the turret and slug-tune circuits. External tuners for low-frequency operation may be used. Jacks J14 and J13 on the rear apron are provided for this use. So that's the key phrase. Those two jacks on the back here have nothing on them. Now, on my earlier winged emblem 51S-1 that I never should have given up, I should have said no when my arm was twisted, but anyway, got another one, so all good. I'm pretty sure that these were over here, and they were jumped internally. I've got a sneaking suspicion that there's no internal connection between these. Alright, so I found myself a coaxial cable. Gonna plug this in on the back into those low frequency converter jumpers right here. Let's see if this brings back our reception on the lower bands. Ooh, I hear something there. And success. Listen to that. Okay. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. No tubes, no bad capacitors, no bad components. No need to get in there with a tool and start golden screwdrivering. Just stop and think. Think. See what we can hear. Oh yeah.
Granted bail to a homeless person accused of a random.
Man, listen to that AM receive.
In October.
Hell yeah. Damn, that sounds good.
Gee, what a wonderful surprise. We were beginning to wonder if you were coming back. Yeah, she said, and stepped into my outstretched.
Brushless power tools from you. Takes us
Oh yeah, the cricket.
5 for 231.
Yeah, just a little slog sweep.
England smashing the Aussies today. It's not good.
These are strengthening containment lines. The man's death is still ways
2nd for the summer. On December 1st,
I can hear another station bleeding through on here. This is where it explains in the Collins manual how the low-frequency receiver is a bit limited. You've got to get that very expensive pre-selector accessory and plug that in. Might be a nice project to try and make one day. Let's see if our 0.2... Let's see if our 200 hertz section is working. Yeah, it is. But there you can hear that broadcast bleed through. That's where you need the pre-selector. But it is working now. All set up in the monitoring position now. Here's that beacon again. Alright, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Did you hear me? Could you hear me working him over? Okay, very good. This is a Kilo Echo 5 Echo Echo. And it seems to work fairly well, so I'm reasonably happy with it. Not that I use them too often. So you obviously paid, what was it, a couple of $100 or $160 US dollars. You paid to get the extra noise filters there, did you feed over? Yeah, exactly. The early access. Just because just a bit of devilment in me, really. I was just curious to see what. The noise reduction, which I do use all the time, was nowhere near as good on the earlier versions of the firmware as it was on, for example, the Icon 7851. The noise reduction on that's fantastic. And I think that the noise reduction on version 4 really rivals it. And the receiver seems to, there's something different in the receiver. It's altogether more lively with version 4. I can't say that I really notice any difference between what is it? I get mixed up with the version you're using and the version I'm using, which is 4.1.3. I can't see the difference. It might be that they've refined things for FT8 or FT4 or something, a mode that I'm not using. Or there's bugs that haven't manifested themselves with me. Now VK3 AUX M5 IDX.
Roger there, Nick. Been an absolute pleasure to be able to catch up with you there this morning. And Yes, you're certainly right about the radio sales, and shipping's never recovered. Unfortunately, I think shipping went up about 300% after that, and has never ever gone down. I got some stuff from DX Engineering recently, and boy, good heavens, the cost of shipping and tax these days. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good DX to you. I don't think you'll have to, for sure. And it's been a pleasure to you this morning.
Yeah, cheers there, Rob. Yeah, all the very best. And a few companies did very well out of it, didn't they? And have yourself a happy and peaceful Christmas, especially after recent events. So,
I need to work on my CW, but that sounds pretty damn rough. Yeah. It's not my place to comment on sloppy code, but that sounds a bit sloppy. Amazing CW filter. And this unit, 300 Hertz and a 3.2 kilohertz SSB mechanical filter.
It was said in 1919, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. But if... Gutter oil has surged from around...
aviation companies. So, first of all, gutter oil is sourced from discarded cooking oils, basically. You can extract them from the, like...
It's the top end of 9 megahertz. Right on 10 there. Of course, I want to display that properly. I'll go here and all the way back down. That's one of the things I love about 51S-1s. Old school mechanical dial. There we go. It's very nicely aligned. Ooh, 15 megahertz coming through strongly tonight. And I think we'll wrap it up by seeing if we can get 2.5 megahertz. What was that? Ah, weather, I think.
Increasing to 1.5 to 2 meters.
Yeah, weather. Well, it's there, ever so very slightly in the background. That'd be Hawaiian Islands to Australia on 2.5 meg, not bad. Anyway, I'm going to call this video there the Collins 51S-1, a receiver with a long memory. It never forgets.